Welcome back, guys, to another GTA video. And again, we feel a little spooky here. Today we're going to look into some of the most creepy and secret GTA locations. Trust me, there are a lot. Starting with one of the most well-known ones. Mount Gordo, I'm sure you know about it. But if you don't, then let me tell you. Mount Gordo is spooky in GTA 5, where you can see the ghost of a woman named Jolene Cranley Evans. She was murdered by her husband, Jock Cranley, who pushed her off the cliff near the peak of Mount Gordo. Her ghost appears between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m., wearing a white robe and long black hair. She disappears if you get too close to her, but you can see the word joke written in blood on the rock where she died. This is one of the few supernatural elements in the game, and it has a tragic backstory that you can learn more about by exploring the game world and finding clues, which you probably won't because crashing cars is more fun. Next one, Back and Beyond, GTA San Andreas. Back and Beyond is a remote and mysterious area in GTA San Andreas, located in Flint County. It is one of the most isolated and spooky places in the game, with no buildings or people, only dense forests, rocky hills, and a murky lake. Many myths and legends are associated with this area, some of which are based on real-life urban legends or folklore. Like Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a legendary creature that is said to inhabit the forests of North America, especially in the Pacific Northwest. It is described as a large, hairy, ape-like being that walks on two legs and leaves huge footprints. In GTA San Andreas, a lot of people have claimed to see Bigfoot roaming around Back and Beyond, especially near the lake or the leaning tree. Some believe that the shape of Back and Beyond on the map resembles a foot, hinting at Bigfoot's presence. But still, there's no evidence yet, 20 years later. But Bigfoot is not the only spooky thing here. Ghost cars. Ghost cars are abandoned vehicles that appear randomly in Back to Beyond, usually at night or in foggy weather. They are usually damaged and dirty, and sometimes they roll down the hills without a driver. Some believe that they are haunted by the spirits of people who died in car accidents in the area, but they simply could be glitches caused by the game's physics engine. Pigsy. Pigsy is a character from another Rockstar game, Manhunt, where he is a deranged serial killer who wears a pig mask and wields a chainsaw. He lives in a dark and filthy attic, where he kills and eats his victims. In GTA San Andreas, some players have reported seeing Pigsy in Back to Beyond, hiding behind trees or rocks, or chasing them with his chainsaw. Some believe that he escaped from Manhunt and found his way to San Andreas, while others think that he is a moderator or a hoax. Remember my Rockstar Connected Universe theory? It all makes sense now, everyone. But we're going to go the extra step with Slender Man. So you all know that Slender Man is a modern urban legend that originated on the internet, where he is depicted as a tall, thin, faceless man in a black suit who stalks and abducts children. He does kind of look creepy. He is often seen in dark and wooded areas and can cause paranoia, nightmares, and memory loss in his victims. There are rumors that you can see Slender Man in Back and Beyond, standing in the distance or behind trees, or appearing in their screenshots. Some believe that he is a supernatural entity that can cross dimensions, while others think that he is a fan-made creation or a prank. The second one seems more logical. Besides Slenderman, there is stuff about a monster called the Woods Creature. The Woods Creature is a mysterious and hostile creature that is said to live in Back and Beyond as well as in Shady Creeks. It is described as a large, hairy, humanoid beast that attacks anyone who enters its territory. It is sometimes confused with Bigfoot, but it is more aggressive and violent. It is a mutated animal or a genetic experiment gone wrong. Even if none of these are true, this location is still scary as hell, especially with those graphics. Next, Apartment 3C. Apartment 3C is located in Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. The apartment is located in Ocean Beach, a neighborhood in the south of the city. It is accessible by a staircase on the south side of the building, which has a pink roof with a unique stunt jump and a Sparrow helicopter on it. For my nerdy viewers, the apartment is a reference to the movie Scarface, a 1983 crime film starring Al Pacino as Tony Montana, a Cuban refugee who becomes a powerful drug lord in Miami. The apartment's interior, especially the bathroom, is identical to the one in the movie, where Tony and his friend Angel go to a drug deal that turns out to be a trap. Angel is brutally killed with a chainsaw in the bathtub, while Tony barely escapes with his life. In the game, the apartment has a chainsaw in the bathroom, next to a blood-stained wall and a bathtub. There is also a large suitcase with 3 bags of cocaine in the living room. These are all Easter eggs added by the game developers as a homage to Scarface, which was a major inspiration for the game's setting, story, and characters. But I can assure you that the apartment has no role in the game's storyline. But it was originally planned to be a safe house that the player could acquire by killing the owner of the apartment in a mission given by Sonny Forelli, the main antagonist of the game. However, this mission was cut from the final version of the game, and the apartment remains unused. Many have speculated about the possible identity and motives of the killer who massacred the previous occupants of the apartment. Some believe that the killer is the Chainsaw Killer, a mythical character who is rumored to roam the streets of Vice City with a chainsaw looking for victims. Others think that the killer is Tommy Vercetti, the protagonist of the game, who may have killed the people in the apartment as revenge for the ambush that Sonny set up for him at the beginning of the game. Some even claim that there is a hidden cutscene in the game that shows the murder scene in the apartment, similar to the one in Scarface, but there is no evidence to support this claim. I wish there was. Now let's return to GTA 5. Merle Abraham's house is a location in Grand Theft Auto 5 that is related to the mystery of the Infinity Killer, a serial murderer who killed 8 joggers in 1999 and hid their bodies in the waters around North Point. The house is located in Sandy Shores, Blaine County, and it appears to have been burned down by someone, possibly a neighbor or a relative of one of the victims. The house contains various clues and messages left by Merle Abrahams, the suspected Infinity Killer, who died in prison in 2004 while awaiting trial. The house is on the corner of Algonquin Boulevard and Panorama Drive, near the Sandy Shores Airfield. It is a small wooden house with a red roof and a porch. The house is surrounded by a fence and has a sign that says, "No trespassing." The house is in very poor condition, with broken windows, charred walls, and debris scattered around. The house can be entered through the front door or the back door, but there is nothing of interest inside, except for some graffiti and writings on the walls. The most noticeable clue in the house is a message scrawled on the wall in the living room. It says, "There will be 8. This is a reference to the 8 victims of the Infinity Killer, who were all single young men who were killed while jogging. The message implies that Merle Abrahams had planned to kill 8 people and that he was obsessed with the number 8. The message also suggests that he was confident that he would not be caught or stopped by anyone. Another message on the wall in the living room says, "8 is just infinity standing up." This is another indication of Merle Abrahams' fascination with the number 8 and the symbol of infinity. He believed that 8 was a special number that represented eternity, perfection, and balance. He also believed that he was doing something meaningful and divine by killing 8 people and hiding their bodies in the shape of an infinity symbol. On the wall in the kitchen, there is a drawing of a mountain with 4 clouds above it. The mountain resembles Mount Chiliad, the highest peak in San Andreas, and the clouds could represent the 4 UFOs that can be seen in the game. The drawing could mean that Merle Abrahams had some connection to Mount Chiliad or the UFOs, or that he was interested in the mysteries and secrets of the game world. Alternatively, the drawing could be a coincidence or a random doodle with no significance. On the wall in the bedroom, there is a pattern of black and white number 8s. The pattern is similar to a barcode or a QR code, but it does not seem to have any meaning or function. The pattern could be another example of Merle Abrahams' obsession with the number 8, or it could be a way of hiding a secret message or a clue. However, no one has been able to decode or scan the pattern successfully. Also, outside the house on the fence there is a sign that says, "I warned you." The sign could be a message from Merle Abrahams to anyone who tried to interfere with his plans or investigate his crimes. The sign could also be a warning from someone else who knew about Merle Abrahams and wanted to scare away potential trespassers or curious visitors. The sign could also be unrelated to the Infinity Killer mystery and just a generic sign that was placed there by the owner of the house or the land. Near the house, on the road, there is a blue dumpster with a bloody handprint on it. The dumpster could be a place where Merle Abrahams disposed of some evidence or a body part of one of his victims. The handprint could belong to Merle Abrahams or one of his victims, or it could be fake or a prank. The dumpster could also be unrelated to the Infinity Killer mystery and just a random prop that was placed there by the game developers. These are the main features and clues of Merle Abrahams' house and how they relate to the Infinity Killer mystery. This mystery is not that popular, but it is definitely interesting to explore. This made me wonder what GTA 6 mysteries would look like. Next, El Castillo del Diablo, the Devil's Castle, is a prominent set of rock formations in Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, located in Bone County, San Andreas, northwest from Area 69 and southwest from Verdant Meadows. It is visible from miles around and consists of mesas, buttes, and one natural arch. Most of these geographical features, like the rest of Bone County, are likely to be inspired by Monument Valley, Utah. Let me tell you that El Castillo del Diablo is considered to be one of the scariest locations in GTA San Andreas, due to its eerie atmosphere, proximity to the mysterious Area 69 and the ghost town of Las Brujas, and the presence of a mass grave at the foot of the centermost mesa. The mass grave is filled with body bags and is surrounded by wooden crosses and candles. It is unknown who buried the bodies there and why, but some fan theories suggest that the government experimented on the residents of Las Brujas and dumped the corpses there. Another theory is that the bodies are victims of a serial killer or a cult that operates in the area. El Castillo del Diablo is also the setting of two missions in the game, namely Interdiction and High Noon. In Interdiction, CJ has to help Mike Terreno, a government agent, by shooting down helicopters that are trying to intercept a drug shipment. In High Noon, CJ has to duel with Eddie Pulaski, a corrupt cop and a member of CRASH who tries to kill him, and a witness named Hernandez. Both missions involve gunfights and chases in the desert, adding to the danger and thrill of the location. I'm not gonna lie, GTA San Andreas has a vibe that just can't be replicated anymore. GTA 3, Ghost Town. Ghost Town, GTA 3 is a hidden area in the game Grand Theft Auto 3, where the opening cutscene of the game takes place. It is located outside the map of Liberty City, the main setting of the game, and it is not meant to be accessed by the player during normal gameplay. It is also known as the Upstate, the Bank, or the Intro map. Ghost Town consists of a small city block with the Liberty City Bank, some stores, apartments, and a few parked vehicles. It is noticeably more detailed than the rest of Liberty City, as it features dumpsters, cardboard boxes, garbage, and air conditioning units on the windows. But something to note is that most of the buildings and streets are non-solid, meaning that the player can pass through them or fall under them. The ghost town is also completely empty, with no pedestrians, traffic, or police presence. The ghost town is the scene of a bank robbery orchestrated by Catalina, including Claude, the protagonist. After the robbery, Catalina betrays and shoots Claude, leaving him dead. Claude survives and is arrested by the police, but he escapes during a prison transport and begins his quest for revenge against Catalina. There are a lot of speculations about it. The ghost town is a part of Upstate, a region north of Liberty City that was planned to be included in the game but was cut due to time and memory constraints. Upstate was supposed to have rural areas, forests, mountains, and small towns, similar to the state of San Andreas in GTA San Andreas. Some remnants of Upstate can be found in the game files, such as textures, models, and map coordinates. It is a representation of the real-life ghost towns in the state of San Andreas, such as Las Brujas and Aldea Malvada. These are abandoned settlements that were once inhabited by Native Americans, but were deserted after the arrival of European settlers. They are rumored to be haunted by the spirits of the former residents, and they contain various Easter eggs and references to the paranormal. Next is the Amityville House. This has some real-life lore connected. The Amityville House is a location in Grand Theft Auto 4 that is based on a real-life house that is said to be haunted by the ghosts of a murdered family. It's a little dark, so hold on. The real Amityville House is located at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, a village in Long Island, New York. On November 13, 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his parents and 4 siblings in their beds at this house. He claimed that he heard voices telling him to kill them. He was convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. About a year later, the Lutz family moved into the house, hoping to start a new life. However, they claimed that they experienced paranormal phenomena, such as strange noises, foul smells, cold spots, levitating objects, and apparitions. They also said that they felt a malevolent presence in the house, and that their personalities changed for the worse. They fled the house after 28 days, leaving behind most of their belongings. Their story was turned into a best-selling book by Jay Anson, titled The Amityville Horror, which was published in 1977. The book spawned a series of movies, documentaries, and spin-offs, making the Amityville house one of the most famous haunted houses in the world. But every man reaches his peak because the court dismissed their story for lack of physical evidence or eyewitness testimony to support their claims of paranormal activity, and the inconsistencies and contradictions in their accounts, which changed over time and differed from the book and the movies. Also, none of the subsequent owners or residents of the house reported any supernatural occurrences. Now let's return to the GTA. The GTA Amityville house is located on Caribou Avenue in West Dyke, Alderney, and is based in New Jersey. The house is very similar to the real Amityville house, with the same distinctive Dutch colonial style, quarter-moon windows, and chimney. However, it has some differences, such as the color, the number of windows, and the orientation. The house is not accessible to the player, but it can be seen from the outside. Some players have reported hearing voices, screams, or gunshots near the house, which could be a reference to the DeFeo murders or the Lutz family's experiences. Some players have also claimed to see the bodies of the 6 victims inside the house, but this has never been proven. The house is not involved in any missions or events in the game, and it has no official name or backstory. The GTA Amityville house is one of the many scary locations in the GTA series. Another GTA 4 scary location is the abandoned Sprunk factory. Let me explain. The Sprunk factory is a derelict building located on Argus Street in Tudor, Alderney, close to Honker's Gentlemen's Club. It was formerly a production facility for Sprunk, a soft drink company that appears in several GTA games. The factory has 3 floors and a basement, and it is accessible to the player, though it is heavily run down inside. Various items of rubbish and debris can be found in the factory, such as broken bottles, crates, barrels, and machinery. Abandoned train tracks that lead to an underground tunnel can be found next to the factory. Some tramps can occasionally be found in the tunnel, and a hole in the brick wall leads into the factory. The factory is likely based on the old Pabst Brewery in Newark, New Jersey, which was torn down during the mid-2000s. The factory also resembles the smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island, New York, which is famous for being haunted. That's background. Now the main stuff. The factory appears during the GTA 4 mission Trespass, when Phil Bell takes Niko Bellic to the factory to take out Charles Mateo, a member of the Ancelotti crime family who is hiding there. Mateo is threatening to inform the commission that it was the Pegorino family who stole the cocaine from the Russian mafia. Niko and Phil have to fight their way through the factory, encountering many armed guards and booby traps. They eventually reach the top floor, where they find Mateo talking on his phone. Niko shoots him and he falls through a window onto a pile of Sprunk cans. Niko and Phil then escape the factory and lose the cops. Some players have reported seeing black figures or apparitions throughout the building, especially on the top floor where Mateo was killed. Some have also claimed to hear voices, screams, footsteps, and gunshots, even when the factory is empty. Some believe that the factory is haunted by the ghosts of Mateo and the other people who died there, or by the victims of the Sprunk company, who may have been poisoned by the drink. Contrary to myths, the abandoned Sprunk factory is not a haunted area. It was previously thought to be haunted because you could hear a mysterious voice threatening you after discharging a weapon. However, this voice is actually the bouncer of Honker's Gentlemen's Club, which is located nearby. The voice is triggered by the sound of gunfire, and it can be heard from anywhere in the vicinity of the factory. The voice says things like, "You're going to be sorry," "You're messing with the wrong people," and "You're a dead man." But people go an extra step with it by saying that there is a monster living in the factory, possibly a mutated creature created by the Sprunk company. This myth is based on the fact that there is a large hole in the wall of the basement, leading to a dark and inaccessible area. Some have claimed to see glowing eyes or hear growls from the hole. The next one is my personal favorite because it's really bizarre. The Harbor Hobo Tunnel is a small tunnel in Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto: Liberty City Stories. It is located on Portland Island, under the St. Mark's district. The northern entrance of the tunnel is in the Harwood train yard, behind the 8 Ball Autos, and the southern entrance is behind the Supa Save a Fiddle in Portland View. The tunnel is one of the most mysterious and creepy locations in the game, as it has no apparent purpose or explanation. The only inhabitants of the tunnel are 4 hobos who stand facing each other in a circle, holding Molotov cocktails. They do not react to the player or any other NPCs, and they cannot be killed or harmed. The tunnel also contains some graffiti, trash, and a few wooden crates. There are many theories and rumors about the origin and meaning of the tunnel and the hobos. Like, the tunnel is a reference to the movie The Warriors, where a gang of street thugs have to fight their way through a subway tunnel filled with hostile hobos. The tunnel is a homage to the Hoboken train station in New Jersey, which is near the Rockstar Games headquarters. The tunnel is a leftover from a cut mission or feature that was never implemented in the game. The tunnel is haunted by the spirits of the hobos who died in a fire or an explosion caused by their Molotovs. None of these theories have been confirmed or denied by the game developers, and the tunnel remains a source of fascination and speculation for many GTA fans. The tunnel is also a popular spot for speedrunners, who use it as a shortcut to reach the southern part of the island faster. We are back to GTA 4, Bloody Apartment. So the Bloody Apartment is a mythical location in Grand Theft Auto 4. It is owned by Dwayne Forge, a former gang leader who was sent to prison for drug trafficking. The apartment is located in Northwood, Algonquin, near Vespucci Circus. The most striking feature of the apartment is the blood trail that runs through its corridors. The source and origin of the blood are never revealed in the game. One theory is that while Dwayne was in prison, many hobos moved into his apartment and started fighting each other. This could explain why the apartment is so dirty and messy and why Dwayne never locks his doors. Another theory is that Dwayne killed someone in his apartment, either before or after his imprisonment. This could be one of the reasons he went to prison, or a result of his depression and anger after being betrayed by his former friend Playboy X. The victim could have been a rival gang member, a police officer, or someone else who crossed Dwayne. A third theory is that the blood trail is a reference to the movie Scarface, which is known to have influenced the GTA series. In the movie, Tony Montana, the protagonist, kills his friend Manny and his sister Gina in his mansion, leaving a bloody mess. The apartment also contains a chainsaw, which is another nod to the movie, as Tony uses a chainsaw to torture and kill a drug dealer in a bathroom. Another interesting detail of the apartment is the photos of LCPD cops that can be found on the walls. One interpretation is that a police officer or officers lived in the apartment before Dwayne, and that he either inherited or stole the photos. This could also imply that Dwayne had some connection or conflict with the police, either as a friend or an enemy. Or maybe Dwayne knew the officers personally, and knew that they were either his allies or his targets. This could suggest that Dwayne had some influence or involvement in the police force, either as a snitch or a corruptor. I wish there was more stuff regarding it. Anyway, next up, the Cecil Apartment. The Cecil Apartment is a location in Grand Theft Auto 5 that is based on the real-life Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. The Cecil Hotel is notorious for its history of violence, death, and paranormal activity. The Cecil Apartment is located in the Southern Templar Hotel building in Los Santos, near the intersection of Power Street and Vespucci Boulevard. The building resembles the Cecil Hotel in several ways, such as the entrance, the side, the water tower, and the vertical marquee signs. However, the Cecil Apartment is not an exact replica of the Cecil Hotel, as it has some differences in the color, the shape, and the number of windows. The Cecil Hotel was built in 1924 and was originally a luxurious destination for tourists and businessmen. However, the Great Depression and the decline of the surrounding area turned the hotel into a place for low-income residents, criminals, and transients. The hotel became infamous for its numerous cases of suicides, murders, and mysterious deaths, as well as its connection to several serial killers, such as Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger. The Cecil Apartment does not have any specific events or characters related to it in the game, but there are some characters who might be related to it. Leonora Johnson was a young actress who was murdered and dismembered in 1975. She is based on the real-life Black Dahlia, and her killer can be revealed by collecting 50 letter scraps scattered around the map. Leonora Johnson may have stayed at the Cecil Apartment before her death, as she was also an aspiring starlet in Los Santos. The Night Stalker is a serial killer who terrorized Los Santos in the 1980s. He is based on the real-life Richard Ramirez, who stayed at the Cecil Hotel during his killing spree. Some fans believe that the Night Stalker may have also stayed at the Cecil Apartment, or that he may still be lurking there. Back to GTA San Andreas. Catalina's Cabin. It is a small wooden cabin located in Fern Ridge, a rural area in Red County. The cabin belongs to Catalina. There are a lot of crazy things here, like animal skins and wheel hubcaps hang from the roof of the porch, implying Catalina's cruelty towards animals and people. Bullet holes on the windows, indicating Catalina's frequent use of firearms and possible shootouts with enemies or law enforcement. Bloodstains are on the floor of the porch, resembling those found at another creepy location, the Panopticon. There are 3 graves and a shovel near the cabin, implying Catalina killed and buried her 3 previous husbands, whom she mentions in the game. But the scary part is that the cabin is also located in a secluded and wooded area, which adds to the atmosphere of isolation and danger. The cabin is near a Bigfoot hotspot, and some players have reported seeing the mythical creature roaming around the cabin. The cabin is also close to the San Andreas fault line, which may cause earthquakes or other natural disasters. The cabin plays a role in the game's storyline, as it is the starting point of 3 missions involving Catalina and Carl. Like First Base, where Catalina holds Carl at gunpoint and forces him to rob a gas station with her. Gone Courting, where Catalina and Carl go on a date to rob a betting shop. Made in Heaven, where Catalina and Carl rob a bank and then break up, leading to Catalina's betrayal and kidnapping of Carl's brother, Sweet. The cabin also serves as a safe house for you after completing the mission King in Exile, where Carl is exiled from Los Santos by the corrupt police officer Frank Tenpenny. The cabin's interior is never seen in the game, even in cutscenes, which is unusual for a safe house. The interior is also inaccessible to you, as the door is locked and cannot be opened. Rockstar really likes to mess around with us by creating these types of locations. Again, I'm kind of hyped up for GTA 6 just for exploration. I think we have talked a lot today, but there are still many locations we didn't touch, maybe in another video. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you do, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You won't miss videos that are about to come that way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and have a nice day.